Welcome. We're here with Jacqui, Lennon and Caitriona Wortley, and we're talking about the need for specialist retirement solutions. Caitriona, there's a lot of noise in the market at the moment about decumulation and retirement, but the innovation really has been around that accumulation, not the decumulation. Why do you think that is?
It's really interesting, right? Because, it seems a bit counterintuitive. All this innovation is taking place in accumulation style products where the investor takes all the risk. And really that needs to change. What we heard, and Jacqui will probably talk a little bit more about this, is, when we did our market testing, was that, retirees are just really worried about their superannuation and their retirement assets going backwards. And what needs to change within that is that the product provider needs to take some of that risk away from the investor. So really, when we look at actually what's the reason behind that, why hasn't there been innovation? The two things I would probably refer to, and the first one is the main reason, is that the majority of businesses just can't innovate or really don't want to innovate because it requires such an amount of capital. It's really to take that risk dynamic away from the investor and share it. It ties up a huge amount of capital, and it also requires a very long-term, patient strategy. And quite frankly, we've been fortunate in the ownership structure that we have. We have Allianz, one of the world's largest insurance companies, coupled with PIMCO and the investment savviness that goes along with PIMCO, and we've been able to bring those two together and innovate within the retirement space.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, Caitriona. When I came in here, I was stunned at how long-term you need to have a view to make money in this space. Having worked in other organisations where business cases, like if you got to year 3, you were laughed out of the room. Mm-hmm. Now it's like about a really long-term, we're here for the long-term perspective, and I've been really surprised at Allianz's attitude to that actually, and really refreshed that we can really innovate in this space because they're going to be here for the long term, and it's been a pleasant surprise starting this organisation and realising that. Yeah,
and I mean, it makes sense, right? Because you're talking about retirement products and people's retirements are now going to last 20, 30, even 40 years. So you need that long-term approach. And the other reason that I often think about as well is, you can make the best product in the market that solves for a risk, but if an advisor can't articulate that to a client and a client can't understand that product, then you've got nothing. So, the education and the simplicity that is required with these products is really important. Inherently solving for some of these risks it's really difficult to do, or else we would have lots of innovations. So really the focus on simplifying the product and allowing the customer to understand that product and an advisor to easily articulate it is a really big focus of ours. Thank you.